And welcome back to the Angry Craftsman. As some of you may already know, we purchased a 5th Thunder Laser. Yes, 5 now. We got the Thunderbolt. So this is a step down in size for us, but we still have all the full capabilities on our other machines. When we started the laser side of our business, we purchased a laser that had almost this exact same bed size as this. And let me tell you, I wish this had been around back then. This would have been a much better starting machine, I think, than the other one. This has some fantastic capabilities. The equipment, the things that are included with this that are not included with a lot of other laser brands. You know, you don't get fans, you don't get chillers, you don't get whatever with some of those other, those other companies. This does not need a chiller, which is super nice if you're in a small space like I was when we first started out, because this is an RF tube, so it is air cooled. It does not need one of those big clunky chillers or a bucket that you're filling with ice packs or whatever. So this is a great starting machine. Price point. This is, again, everything that you need to get up and running is included. When you click show me the price, that's everything. That's delivered to your door. Not all the other companies do that. Again, you may have to purchase additional equipment to help make your laser run, which we had to do with our first laser. So bang for your buck. This is also a fantastic machine. I think it's very much, you know, a good budget machine. It's still spendy for some folks, but for what you're getting, it is a very, very good price point. Okay, and let's talk about some of the other details and features, maybe some positives that we like about it, and maybe some negatives that we found with it. So let's get into that. Outside of the machine, we're going to start with the key. It has a key to turn it on instead of a push button or a little lever or something like some of the machines have. Again, this is like our first machine had a key to turn it on. You know, no big deal, just that's part of your workflow. Nice big red e-stop, but not as big as the Novas, so it proportionally fits with the machine. Still over here on this side, we have a new updated Ruida controller. It is very nice. It is all touch screen, and as you can see, if you don't touch it quite hard enough, nothing happens. So I can still unlock and, you know, move things from here. It's not doing anything right now, but anyway, you can scroll through your files, you know, your menu. We've got the autofocus is located in its own separate button here, which is really nice because autofocus is important for this machine, because it does come with that. You can still set your origin, do your framing, all of the things, as well as you have these other buttons here. But when you're in manual, you can adjust how much you want each little button press to do. So we've got it set to move a 0.5 millimeter when we press these buttons, so we can get our origin exactly where we want it. Okay, we've got, you know, stop, start, you know, all the things right here. If you need to connect a thumb drive or something, you can do it right here instead of it being over on the side of the machine or something as well. Okay, still on the outside of the machine, but now we're over on the left-hand side. We have this nice red and green light here that shows you if it's green, it's doing nothing. It's all good to go. You can open the lid, no problem. If it's red, that means it's running. Don't open the lid. You'll screw your stuff up. Okay, now we're going to talk about the doors. We have this upper door that is acrylic, so don't use Windex or anything with ammonia in it because you could mar up your acrylic. And then it has this lower door here, which is nice and fancy and lights up. Couple of things I don't like about the door configuration is it's very easy when you go to try and lift the lid. This lower lid handle sticks out beyond the upper lid handle, and there's not much room there. So if you have big honking hands, you're gonna have a hard time getting them in there to open this lid. It's got gaskets on it, or what are these? Not gaskets.
Gas struts.
Gas struts, sure. It's got one on each side, which is nice. But then once you get it up there, it kind of wiggles a little bit. But for the price point, it still works and operates very nicely. Now we're going to talk about this lower door. It makes it easier if you open the top one first and then go to open the bottom one. I'm going to open the bottom one. Oh no. Whatever this is, they didn't glue on. They just kind of stuck it there. So that's a little bit of annoying if you go to open your door and it just kind of falls off in your hand. So you have to actually grab onto the metal a little bit more firmly and really kind of yank it, because it's got these little clips instead of just magnets or a latch. And these are, you really gotta, you know, give it some effort, which to me, I was a little scared I was going to break it. It's got these little things here that help hold the door from just flopping down. Here's the wires that power the lights and all. This is great though. Tiny, tiny, tiny little machine. But it still has a pull-out crumb tray. You have no idea how nice this is. Again, our first machine, which was about the same bed size, did not have this. Everything just kind of fell down, and you had to hope for the best. So if you cut something and you need to retrieve it, it is very easy to go in and, oh, there's that tiny little dot of the eye or whatever. And then it just pops back in. Also, just like on the Novas, the honeycomb, let me see if I can do this from the side. The honeycomb has these little notches, these little tabs. So you know that your honeycomb is in and secure and flush and flat, as long as you've got both of those in. So that's really nice too. Again, the honeycomb is removable. So, you know, we do that like when you're doing the rotary or something. Okay, so I think we covered everything on the outside. Tommy's going to talk about the, actually more about the tube and the air pump and the exhaust fan and all of that stuff on the back of the machine, which unfortunately we're not going to move stuff to show y'all. You'll have to go to the Thunder website if you want to see pictures of all of that. So now we're going to talk about inside. So we're going to start with the camera that comes included. You do not have to buy this extra. So that's really nice for folks that want to use it. It's not part of our workflow. So honestly, I've never used it. We have it on one of our other machines and we don't use them. We love the framing function, which this has. And that works for us. We don't need the camera. So don't ask questions about it. I won't be able to answer them. Okay, next we are going to talk about the head and the lenses. And if you have operated other CO2s, non-RF CO2s, this looks a little bit different. If you've had a Nova, Thunder Nova, this looks very different. So on my other Thunder Novas, I can interchange the heads and it's really cool and nice. Everything is separate. I can't change anything out with my other machines. It does have an autofocus plunger built in back here, which is nice for those that like that feature. The air also comes a little bit different. It's coming off from the side instead of through the nozzle like it is on our other machines. These screws here come off, and then you can change out your lenses. So Tommy's already got some videos of how to assemble these, because when you get them, nothing's assembled. You get to put it all together. So Tommy's got some videos on how to do all of that. Some people have swapped locations and done some other tricks and stuff. We're not doing that. And there was some reasons for that. So, but you know, just like the other machines, it's got your gantry, moves all around, really nice. Your bed goes up and down. We get quite a bit of clearance here. Plus, when we take the honeycomb out, then we can get additional clearance that way. So there it bottomed out, but that's still pretty good. Okay, so this machine also comes with adjustable air. I talked about how it comes out here kind of at the side. Here's the air tubing here. This little knob here, you're like, what the heck is that? It doesn't say anything. This is your air, so it is adjustable. You can twist it up or down, depending upon if you want high air or low air. This would be nice if it was on the outside, because you may start your job and it's doing the things and you realize, oh no, I need to turn my air up or down. Well, then you have to pause everything, and then you have to open the lid, and then you can adjust your air. You can't do it on the fly like you can on the Novas, because this is on the outside on the Novas. So that's just a tiny little thing that, you know, could maybe help make it just a little bit better. Okay, so when you have gotten this figured out and you are ready to start using the rotary, it's right here. It's not in the back of the machine hidden anywhere like it is in some other machines, so that's really nice. However, there is a little button up here at the top, just like in the Novas. This little silver button. I think it actually says push, not that you can read it, but you have to press that button to pull the plug out. I don't have long nails, and that is difficult for me. Put it somewhere else. That way it's not in the way of any of the rotaries once they're in there. That would have been really nice, because this is very difficult to get your hands in there to press that little button to unplug your rotary. This does not have any pass-throughs. So if that's something that you're worried about doing things that are larger than the work area, then maybe you need to upgrade to one of the larger machines. That is something that our first machine did have pass-throughs. So while it was the same, approximately the same working area, we still had pass-throughs. So we had a little bit more flexibility with being able to do oversized items, where you kind of can't with this. You can figure out how to open this door and bypass things that we're not going to talk about bypassing. And then you have, you know, this little bit of room here where you can, you know, stick something long in and engrave one half, and then turn it around and stick the other half in. This isn't our only machine, so that's not something that we have to worry about. If this is going to be your only machine, then that might be something you need to think about.
Okay, so let's see if I can do this while I'm on the camera. So let's just start from one end and go to the other. Right here, pretty nice. We got a fan. It's a cooling fan. It blows out. You are going to feel air from this area here. We also have, again, the power supply, the 30-watt RF tube. It is a metal tube and it's air cooled. So you'll see those 4 fans. That's what's keeping the tube cool. And then as we come over here, what looks like it wants to be a modified space gun is the end of the tube. And that's a beam adjuster, for lack of better words. Mental note, don't mess with that. Unless you're well advanced, don't bother with that. Your beam combiner and going into where mirror 1 is, and then through the window is how the laser beam passes. So I kind of like this option right here. I'm going to call it a lens cover, but I bet you they've got some other better technical term for it that I haven't read. I like it that it's sealed up right there so that the smoke and everything else is a little bit more difficult to get to the mirror, but you got to remember to clean that right there. Now, what's neat about these compared to the, yes, I said neat, the Novas is the way the mirrors are set. So I'm going to have a hell of a time getting to it. But that little black tab on the right-hand side, I'm hoping I can get to it from the other side, but that's what holds your mirror. And then you're able to just slide the mirror right out to make it a little bit easier to clean it. So she's opening up the side. There's a gold big knob in this in the center. Just crack that a little bit and then slide that out. There it is. So that's how you pull the mirror out and clean it, and then you just tighten that knob back up, and you don't have to realign it like sometimes you may with the Nova series. So on a different note, one of the things that we kind of like about this is you only have 2 mirrors to adjust when doing alignments. Mirror 3 is a permanent set. There's no adjustments on that. So once you get them and get it into the center, it comes right on out the bottom. There's no tube, there's no nozzle, there's nothing for the bean to bounce off of. So it'll come right out of the bottom of it, which makes alignment really nice and easy.
Okay, so like I already said, everything that you need to be up and running is included in this machine. So the air pump and the exhaust fan are located on the back of the machine. We are fortunate that we had a window right next to the machine. So on one of my other machines, I cut out the thing so that I can just open the window and exhaust straight out this window. Makes it super nice, a nice short run, which is what you want for your exhausts. So you will need to purchase or make some kind of table for this to set on if you don't want to be reaching, you know, really close to floor level to deal with getting things in and out, which if you want to roll on. Tommy built this table specifically for me and my height. I am 5'2", so this is a really adorable little solid cherry table that he built so that this is at a good height for me so that I'm not falling into it when I need to try and reach something in the back or at the bottom.
To kind of wrap this up, and we've heard her talk about it. She's the end user, so her opinion is the only one that really matters. Again, like I've told everybody else, I'm just her built-in tech support here. So from my perspective, this tiny ass little machine is fantastic. I'm not knocking the size of it, as she put it when we first got it. It's so cute. Yeah. It is cute and little when you have a 51-130 and a 3580 that sit, you know, a handful of feet away from it. But if you're looking for a first-time machine or a brand new, like she said before, I truly wish that this had been out the years ago when we started, because this would have been the purchase that we would have made. We would not have probably sold it, and we'd still have it today. But as you look, you know, we are a full-time laser shop with 5 lasers sitting in here now, this being the 5th one. Somebody once asked, you know, why would we go to something so small? Because for us, converting this and making this a dedicated tumbler machine then frees up the 3580 for other engravings or cuttings. That way we've got the machines that are running. First time machine, you know, we've never put our hands on a Glowforge. I don't know I've ever seen a Glowforge, which is a comparison size, or the Boss 1420. Looking at the way it's built, this, minus the little differences, the overall, it's fair, it's quality, that's for sure. It is not as heavy duty as the Nova series, but it's not meant to be as heavy duty as the Nova series. But you're not driving a Yugo with this. You know, I can't see this falling apart as it's being used, and we've had one that would vibrate too much and nuts and bolts would come out. The fact that Thunder took the time to develop this, it is a little bit more difficult, and again, like I've always said before, it's a us problem, not a them problem. But when you're going from a tank, then you are, buying a smaller, less expensive machine. Don't expect that it's built like the tank. Expect it to be comparable in the way it's built. And again, there's no doubt in my mind, it's quality. I see where they've reduced things to keep the price point where they are, and everything works the same. I mean, yes, there may be a few more maintenance issues down the road, but not a damn one of us has had it more than a handful of months. So the true maintenance issues will start showing up here in 1 or 2 years, as some of the rubber wheels and the track and things like that, as they start to get wore and broke in compared to what the Nova series is. But again, first time machine. I wish we'd have had this thing. It's absolutely fantastic. If you're like us and you're looking for a smaller machine and you have the Novas, don't be underwhelmed. That was some of our issues when we first saw it, but we are a firm believer in the build quality, the support quality, and everything else about Thunder. That this is a refurbished machine. They're few and far between, but we drove to pick this up back before Christmas. It had been flipped over, and a few parts had to be replaced. I think a new tube got dropped in it, and we are that confident in support's ability to fix these things that it's a second.
Initial manufacturing is so good that when things like it getting flipped on its side, so little is damaged that we're okay with those fixes and then running it.
And again, this is the second refurbished machine that we've bought. Chris does a fantastic job of putting them back together, realigning everything, that I have no issues buying only refurbished machines. I'm not sure how long they're going to continue that progress or that service. We'll see. But other than that, like I said, I hope you've learned something. Definitely highly recommend this, especially if you're looking for a first machine, if you're looking for a fifth machine, if you're looking for something smaller. As we progress, and there's one other thing that we really didn't talk about. And I really like making people wait to the end of these damn things, but the beam signature on this RF tube is so tiny. The kerf is so tiny. It does amazing with small intricate cuts, cutting solid wood earrings, but then you switch the lens out to a 4-inch. It's still got a tiny beam signature for a 4-inch lens, to where you can get detailed engravings on a tumbler. So from what I know about the other manufacturers out there, especially the ones that primarily deal in RF tubes, by far a much better machine and a hell of a lot cheaper cost.
Yep.
And the fact that you run Lightburn on it and not some other program that's miserable or proprietary program is fantastic. So again, hope you've learned something. If you got questions, let us know. If you got questions, email support or email sales at thunderlaserusa.com.
Unless you're in Canada or somewhere else.
Yes, then email your respective country's dealer. Don't ask me what the hell those emails are. So, again, y'all have a great day.